Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with DVD. How you doing? This is going to be my episode recap of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. And this is going to be season 16, episode 8. Let's get into it. Now, before I start, let's get some things out the way that's going to be going on in the episode. Let me give you a little preview. Porsha is still mad. We are still in Nashville. Angela makes a shocking discovery. But is it so shocking? Is Cynthia being the flip-flopper that Nene accused her of? Wait and see. We'll talk about it. So the episode opens up and we start with Shamia. And Shamia has sung a song. It was a birthday tribute to her bestie, her real bestie, PORSHA Williams. I'm about to get like Alex Rogers about Shamia. When he said that about Teddy. Maybe Shamia's time has passed and she always been this almost kind of corny. But we know she's a corny ass dresser. I just realized that, in my last couple of reviews. I mean, just hideous almost. I mean, she's right up there almost surpassing Giselle. Giselle is doing better. But you already got the quint. You didn't need to show for the quint. And you look a mess. Horrible dresser. Y'all hear this foolishness? So Brent is talking to her husband and he's, hi honey, I miss y'all. I miss you too, baby. Some shit is going on. And I just wanted to let you know that, I'm trying to stay out of trouble. But I can't because I'm a victim. Everybody does all these things to me. So, at the peace brunch, Angela kept picking on me. And so, some things went down, and they're all advocating for a draw. So, I don't think Shamia knows this modern woman. And I don't think she knew that this wasn't going to hit like she thought it would. So we get to Shamia. We find out her baby has an ear infection and needs some antibiotics. Well, the thing about this is, so we're not seeing things the way of the old, let's carry my husband's name, folks, and the women's all back from back in the day. We're at the point where we're saying, girl, you have one with a lot of issues. You might want to pump your brakes on giving that man a boy. Because if y'all went the natural way, I want to say that it was either on Twitter or somewhere where I saw that a woman put her body through so much trying to give her husband a son that she almost left this earth. Now, if you leave the earth, Shamia, trying to give this man a son, what do you think is going to happen to those girls? Because he wants a son so bad. He may end up resenting them. You remember like how old Pops resented Elphaba down to the wicked? Yeah. May end up being something like that. So, in the next scene we have Angela. And did I tell y'all I didn't like this episode that much? Oh, okay. Well, I'm telling you now. And we have Angela and Cynthia. And Cynthia is talking about, again, how the baby daddies hit different. They don't. They only hit differently if you want them to. Do you think Leon is going to stop acting if he wants to act with a friend of yours? It's a freaking album. He produced the album, and it is what it is. I will say this about Porsha, and this thing is getting on my nerves. She's getting on my nerves. We all know and understand that had things worked out and panned out the way she wanted them to, what did she want Dennis to do? Sit on the sidelines? I have two questions actually. And y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about it. Would she have the same attitude if things had panned out between her and Simon? That's one question. The next question I have is, do we really think that since she said that there is a triangle going on and it's all made up, a scheme that Ty set up, does she really believe that though? And would she even care if Dennis was found with Drew, if things had panned out the way she wanted it to? I think, and this is what I think that Drew was just, I don't think Drew ever really thought that Porsha would have had a problem with her even making an album with Dennis. Because you would look really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs had you still had a problem if you were with Simon. That's one thing. But I do have another question. Do y'all remember when she was on the Porsha's Family Matters show and Simon didn't question at all that she still had an issue with Dennis bringing on a girl on the trip? Remember, she got so angry. And I think this is where the play incident came in at. Or it was a part of it. It was about Dennis bringing somebody else on the trip with him. And then he ended up being more likable than she did. But that's about what's occurring on this show. Angela is becoming more likable than she and Cynthia. Because Cynthia is about to get on my damn nerves. And y'all about to find out. So Angela feels like, back up off of me. I'm being a friend to Drew. And there's nothing wrong with me being a friend to the person that I'm loyal to when everybody else is jumping down my throat. I know that's right, girl, because none of the rest of them are going to be cool with you. If you're no longer cool with Drew, because you already done told Snot-Nosed Britt where to get off at. And it seems like she is forming a bond with the boss. And who's the boss? Well, you know who the boss is. The boss is the new anchor, Porsha Williams. Go by it. So Angela wig continues to melt, and we do see it melting when they're sitting on the porch. Drew finally arrives, and now the drama ensues. So in this review, let me sprinkle in a little Carlos King and Claudia and Dustin. Or is it Justin? Whatever. Justin Dustin. I think his name is Dustin. Right in here with Angela. Angela says to Drew, well, you're helping me get the snakes off my back when you came in, because I'm receiving a lot of backlash for having your back. Then she said, no, dear, you brought this on yourself because you invited me when Porsha didn't want me to come. Basically what she's saying, without breaking the fourth wall. But listen to me, Linda. I still believe this is a cash trip, and I think it's just a cash trip in Porsha's name only, just like most cash trips. I don't think, they have to have a theme and have you fooled into believing that they're paying for everything when we all know they're not. Okay, on this side of things, and what I mean by Dustin, Claudia, and Carlos, he said that he had been asking Angela to join the show since season 3. I think she would have been a better fit with those girls. But if she had joined then, would we get the Angela that we're getting now? Because I so love Angela.
Say, listen, I know I'm wrong for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Y'all talk about sleeping with my man, them fighting words. I'm just saying, I ain't talking about nobody. Y'all say y'all gonna sleep with my husband, we got to fight. Especially if you pretty, especially if you think you probably could do it. Don't say you gonna sleep with my man, please don't, because I'm gonna have to fight. Every time I see you, it's gonna be on site. Chad, don't even worry about it. They know the people. It's on site for y'all. It's on site, okay? Praise God, my little man, leave my little man out of it, baby, because we gonna thank God for everything. I ain't trying to be messy today.
So they make a move to do what they want to do, and we find out that Porsha has some busting 5 ribs. So that's what she eats in the morning to get all the indigestion that she could possibly get. Did you know that breakfast is supposed to be, even though it's supposed to break the fast, which is why it's called breakfast, you slept all night without eating, you're breaking the nighttime fast. Even though that's the case, you're still supposed to eat light. That's why people have like scrambled eggs, fruit, maybe a couple slices of bacon. You just don't go back into it with a full meal. That's why you eat various things at various times of the day, so it won't be so heavy on your stomach. That's just for future references. So Porsha is continuously being Zen Porsha, right? She's good. She don't have a problem with Drew. She's gonna enjoy her day. Now, let's get on down to the Coyote Ugly. Let's see who's going to Coyote Ugly, right? We have Shamia, Lil Brit, not Lil Brit, Little Brit. That's why I say Little. Lil Kel, and Porsha down to the Coyote Ugly. And then we have Cynthia, Brett, Angela, and Drew down to the whiskey tasting. And everything is going good. They're getting along. Kel is dressed like a 19 or 2000 Phaedra. A 2010 version of Phaedra, because the show didn't come out in 2009. And all that fishnets and black pantyhose and what's not. And then, on a similar note, we have Britt, who's dressed similarly to what she has on. Why? Because they sharing a stylist on this trip. They don't need to. Neither one of them. I'm not feeling neither one of these outfits. So at the whiskey tasting, let's do it again. Let's let Porsha be the mama. And we're going to continue to kiss her behind. So what I'm going to do is extend another olive branch, which she's not paid attention to the other olive branches that I've extended. So I'm going to do it again. And extend her olive branch by giving her the whiskey bottle with a picture on it. Now that should get her going. Porsha and all her teeth and eyes. That's what she likes. A bottle of whiskey with my picture on it, who I can't stand right now. Great idea. Now, Coyote Ugly, we've seen movies about that, right? We have a good time there. Then while we're at this whiskey tasting, they tell them to smell the wine. Now, y'all know damn well y'all can't be putting them pinched noses off in that wine, because you're not smelling a thing, Britt, Angela. Y'all know y'all don't smell shit. Let's argue over Kenya again, because what better thing to do than to do that? Because without Kenya, what does Brett have? And here comes Cynthia to the rescue. Well, until your picture is up on the wall, sucking ping ping, then you don't know what it's like. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness gracious, my darling Cynthia. See, that's why Kenya fell out with your ass. Now I see. Now, when you were in the midst of saying this, my nerves were getting bad. And I was saying to myself, I said, huh? Why is she doing that? Now, we all know by this point that Kenya has been excommunicated from the show, right? So why we still talking about this lady? Leave her over there. Ain't that what you wanted? The whole idea when you said you had the whips and chains was to get off the show, right? To get her to that point where you could be the focal point of the show and nobody's paying you any attention.
Ask your doctor.
So, just keep in mind the scenery, right? We have at the Coyote Ugly, we have Licking Glass Portia, Deep Throating Ass Kelly, and Do It All from the Window to the Wall Shamil. So, these girls are just really having fun at the Coyote Ugly. But then we sit down for a serious conversation at the whiskey tasting. So we have Drew, Angela, and Victorina, which is actually not Brett. Victorina is Angela. That's the name that we've coined for Angela instead of coining it for Miss Brett. So Angela is just trying to get Brett to see. I wasn't interrogating you, idiot. I was just saying that it's kind of weird that they offered to, or they tried to, cancel your license, when in all actuality, I have a license. And with my license, once it's updated and all these types of things, look. Me being a former social worker, I was not licensed. I worked under my supervisor's license. Y'all, when I tell y'all it's worse working under your supervisor's license than yours, because they're protecting their license for what they do and for what you do. So you have to be super, super cautious. But in that instance, I do know that there is indeed a code of ethics that you must live by and that you were guided by. That's understandable. But Britt, girl, if that thing is done to you and not you doing the thing, then that's different. That'll be a difference if you had the pictures sprawled out, spreading out up on the poster board, and you posted them. You didn't do it. You were indeed, in that case, a victim. But anyway, she's like, it wasn't done to you. Why can't you understand what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that, I felt like you were attacking me. Okay, she feels like she's being attacked. Now, this is weird. So, Angela says, to her, it felt like she was acting like she was entitled at the brunch. And Drew's like, and Britt's like, nobody had empathy for me. I mean, I felt like I should have deserved some level of empathy. Then, of all motherfuckers, Cynthia's ass jumps in and says, well, hey, well, until that happens to you and you have your pictures with a dick in your mouth, then, don't come to us talking about how would you react. First of all, you done pissing me out talking about baby daddies hit differently and you running over there on Portia's side. But you seeming like you are a real damn simp right now. Now you running over here on Britt's side and now Kenya ain't fucking with you. Now, if you really want to know the truth about the whole situation, I watched the girls trip. The people on Girls Trip ended up finding out that Kenya was Kenya, all except Ramon. The rest of the girls on Girls Trip, the first one, the originator. And guess who was on the originator? Cynthia shouldn't have been on that trip. The only reason why, to me, Cynthia was on that trip on the first Girls Trip was because they knew they were about to get rid of her. But that's neither here nor there. My point is, she thought that the girls weren't going to like Kenya. Then they found out the real Kenya, and then they ended up gravitating towards her, and Cynthia was jealous. That's what it was. So that's the first time they fell out, ever. And now you have this. I don't think Kenya is even asking Cynthia to be on her side per se. I think she's just saying, something was done to me. You were not there to see what was done to me. And then you have enough nerve to... only thing you seeing is Britt's point of view. So with what Cynthia said in those interviews, I have no problem with that. But now, as I'm looking at her on the show, I am seeing why Kenya don't fuck with her. So we get back on the bus. They've blown smoke up Britt's ass and giving her all the empathy that they think that she could muster up, but it ain't quite enough. So it's time for us to go, and everybody is drunk out of their minds. So we get back to the house. We're going to have dinner in 2 hours. Now, mind you, it's very important. We're talking about this fish that Kelly ordered. So Cynthia gets just what she wants, right? A newbie on her team. Cynthia, I just want to thank you for all of the compassion and empathy that you gave me at the dinner. Oh, Big Mama sent. She ready to give hugs and kisses now. So now it's time for the dinner. We done fast forwarded, and everybody's getting prepared for the dinner. Remember, Kelly and Britt are sharing a stylist, so they both look like 2 Brahma cows. If you want to know the truth about it, that cowhide look that they have on, that's called a Brahma cow. They don't get the recognition like the Black Angus, because the Black Angus get a good meat, the good hamburger, and a good steak. But Brahma cows are safety cows. Those are the cows that save your life because they can produce good milk and good meat. Because my grandmother had Brahmas, and she don't kill. Well, she didn't, because the grandmama's gone. But she didn't kill her Brahma bull. No, ma'am. But that outfit, yes. Have mercy. That is the outfit that looks just like a Brahma cow. You know, the cow that has the white face, the white hooves, and the white stomach, but the brown back, and some patches of white on the back as well. That's a Brahma cow, in case you didn't know it. That's what they look like. Now, I have heard people say cowhide, that they look like they're wearing cowhide, but that's the cowhide. And then the killing part about it, Britt loves it. She has been on interviews in that shit. She has been in, excuse my rude ass neighbor. He know I'm out here filming here. They know what I'm doing when I come out here in this car. But anyway, he over there trying to admonish his dog. Anyway, so that's that on that. That's the history of the outfit. So they get out there to dinner. Porsha has talked to Dennis. She talked to Pilar. I love Pilar. But after the conversation with Pilar, she finds out some disturbing information. And what is that disturbing information? She got a call saying that Dennis, who deserves all of her smoke, has been filming with Drew. The problem here is nobody understands what the problem is but Cynthia, because nobody can film with Leon either. So we get to the dinner and Drew is like, come on. What is going on? Let's address the elephant in the room. Drew, I want to apologize. I did a good thing for you. Drew says, let's address the elephant in the room. I want to apologize to Porsha. I want her to know that I did get a nice gift. I brought the whiskey. And then some kind of way the conversation shifts to Angela from Porsha. And Porsha says, as far as Angela goes, she can kiss her ass.
And then Angela was like, no, that's what you want everybody else to do. I know that's fucking right. Because everybody else is doing exactly that. And Porsha, I guess at this point, they think Porsha is the anchor. But we all know that Porsha is going through the messy divorce with Scammer Simon. Allegedly. And so, allegedly, Scammer Simon is over there dictating what she can do on the show. As far as mentioning his name, as far as, filming in the house. So all of these things are affecting her. But what Scammer Porsha is not understanding is that, excuse me, because I ate some ribs, y'all. Not good for a person with acid reflux, but I'm in the South, child, and it's rib cooking time. So, honey, I went around there to that smoker and got me some. Okay. So, anyway, it's neither here nor there. So, Drew is at the point where she is getting frustrated with Porsha. The whole United States is getting frustrated with Porsha, except for those staunch, die-hard Porsha fans, and those have to be stands. Because shout out to House of Air. Because if you can't see that this girl is ruining this show, even if you are a fan of hers, then you, my dear, are what's causing her to have the big head that she has and should. Because she ain't running shit over here. Angela, so far, is in charge of the girls. Now, in my previous video, remember I told y'all this video got chopped and screwed, and then by the time I found out anything, I was not filming. Okay? So hopefully I am on tape on this one. I was watching Watch What Happens Live, and then I saw the episode with Porsha and Giselle. My issue with Giselle is Andy did ask the tough questions, and Giselle sitting there, a cheated on woman herself, and says, and just sit there and just giggle at Porsha. I think that's what a lot of what Porsha's problem is. I love them together. Don't get it twisted, I like Porsha's chemistry with Giselle better than I like. Now, if I'm repeating this, it's because the previous video is going to be tied into this one, so I may not, remember everything that I said on some of the parts that I did chop up, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. So I think they had good chemistry, and that may be why Giselle doesn't like to say a whole lot of things about Porsha. But Giselle was on another reality show, and then she did say, that she felt like Pistol Girl was equally as at fault as Kenya. And I feel that same way. But I'll say this too. Ultimately, what we have to understand is nobody is grasping this that hates Kenya, is that this never would have happened. Shout out to Doodoo Brown, Michelle A. Jellian, if she wasn't threatened. And you know what's weird to me about Doodoo Brown, and this is how you could tell that she is biased, is because she never or rarely mentions Britt's part in it. And that's just like people who stand for Porsha. For the things that Porsha has done in the past, beating up on people and snatching people's hair and whatnot, they rarely mention her part in different issues. And same thing with Melody on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Those staunch, diehard fans of her don't even pull out any detail of any wrong that Melody has done on the show. And to me, for me, those are the content creators that I just try not to watch too often, because to me, it's like, you do want to see something every once in a while that's fair and balanced. Just like me, I'm a staunch Kenya fan, and I can say Kenya was dead ass wrong for showing those pictures, especially at her own grand opening. But I can also say, me looking at the show and watching the show carefully with these big old eyes of mine, that Britt was definitely wrong, had no place in the conversation at all to be threatening that lady with any type of weapon. That's what it is. Just like, and then this is why I can say I stopped being biased and stop loving on these housewives as much as I did, as far as things go and things turn out and you have to see it for yourself, is because of the situation with Candace and Monique. I was like, I'm waiting. When that incident happened with Candace and Monique, I was sitting there waiting because I know Candace had sent out, Monique had sent out all the spin doctors that she could possibly get, the biggest content creators, everything. And I'm sitting there looking at, because my favorite was at that time was All About the Tea. I'm sitting there watching All About the Tea, and then when this first episode aired, I'm saying, where is it? Is it Candace's fault again? Then the second episode aired, and I'm like, they're doing more so ganging up on Candace, and here she is on a conspiracy where I heard that Candace said that she was gonna that she told Monique about the plot, and she's sitting up here plotting against Candace to ice her out. That was episode 2. Then episode 3 rolled around, and I'm like, wait a minute. Candace came on the trip. Monique is ignoring Candace on her own trip. She's all up Giselle's butt. And then episode 4 aired. And I'm like, Candace had been disengaging the whole time. And then when she engaged, talked back to Monique, Monique is the one who was passing licks. Same thing with Kenya. Britt is fully playing the victim, when in all actuality, none of this would have happened had she not started it. I mean, I know I sound like I'm on the first grade playground, but she literally started it. That lady wasn't paying her no attention. So now let's get back to the dinner. So Porsha and Drew are going back and forth. Drew is tired. She's like, I quit. This girl is acting like she's in high school. I don't have time for it. I'm leaving. So Porsha then turns around and plays victim again, which she's doing best this year. All I said was, this girl is over here filming with my baby daddy. And all I said was she was straight and she gonna have no nerve to get up and leave. I should have all the smoke for Dennis. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have all the smoke for Dennis. I'm not going to have no smoke for her. So, allegedly, what I heard, on the trailer coming up, she's going to film with Rhoa. Who gives a fuck? Now, if she films with Simon, are you going to have a problem with that too? Because Simon won't film with your ass. That's what she should have went around there and did once she found out that you... Because then she would have had 2 people she can film with. She should have filmed with Simon. And I hate that these episodes are so old, because they had to chop and screw things to make things better with Kenya. But baby, this right here should be happening closer to real time, because I would love to see them go back in and let Drew film with Simon's ass. And I know he'll be happy to do it. So then, since she's the victim now, she gets up from the table and she goes and there's Cynthia, rebound scent, up there coddling her again with that whole baby daddy hit different shit again. And I can see your point. I'm very, very clear on what's going on. And girl, thank you so much. You know how she did with Nene. I don't know how I ever made it without you. So she goes on and, Cynthia, I'm so happy you're there for me like no other. Cynthia, now you might have kicked me in my cuckoo-cuckoo because I was meddling like I always do. But I'm so glad that we have come to the place where you could play mama. When Dix for dollars, Darlene ain't around. Child back. So we get down there to the pool, right? Everybody's gone to bed. It's time for drama to ensue. And we're going to go to the pool with Shamia, Kelly, and Britt. Did I get it right? Shamia, Kelly, Britt, and Porsha. So we at the pool. We chunking dollars. We chunking them back. We already been drinking all day, the whiskey tasting, but hey, fuck that. And Coyote, forget that. We gonna drink some more. Let's do that. Let's be little assholes and continue to drink. So they drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. And so they out there shaking and shaking, shaking and shaking. And so Angela perks up. She turns on her video recorder, which is very smart of her. Lady in the window, girl in the window, whatever you want to call her. And she hears her name. They're talking bad about her. They saying all these different things about Angela. And Angela's like, you okay? Then she hears the ultimate coup de grace. She keep on fucking with me. I'll fuck her husband. Who would say that? Besides Dixie Darlene daughter, Portia. Now, mind you, Shamil all up in her face, all up in her ass, letting her shake her ass on her face and everything else. But, Britt got a little fatty, but we know it's manufactured. But, they still down there doing their thing or whatever. And here we go. Why can't Portia own up to her shit? So, Angela walks down to the stairs and down to the pool and say, what? I heard my name. What's up with that? I heard you say you gonna fuck Charles. I ain't said that. I ain't said nothing. Oh, wide-eyed and bushy tail. You scared? Are you scared? As the older folks in Mississippi say. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But anyway. No, I'm just gonna go back to bed and get out this pool. And so the next day, they all in the bed, some kind of way. We need each other, bitch. So, Britt and Kelly are in the bed together. And so Britt tells Kelly about the filming of the situation. So Britt walks down the stairs being messy. Kelly walks downstairs being messy. And she sees that Drew and Angela have packed up their bags and getting ready to do the two-step. And I do mean two-step and walk on up out of their life. Before you walk out of my life, let me talk to you. So Kelly wants to talk and she's, no, I can't be fake. Bitch, you was out there talking about me too. Kelly gets into the confessional because now at this point her and Britt fell out. You remember confessionals are filmed after the show. So she admits that Portia did say that she would fuck Mr. Charles. So as Angela is leaving, she calls them puppets. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up this episode. Baby, that mid-season trailer is hotter than fish grease. I hope y'all come on in and look at my review. I know that this recap is old as dirt, but I had done the video Tuesday. Then Wednesday rolled around and I had other videos to do. Then life happened, and then Thursday rolled around. And by the way, now mind you, Tuesday, the video was done. Chopped and screwed and everything, and then no sound. I should have, went on ahead and done it that Tuesday, but hey, baby, piping hot tea happened, and then baby, Beyond the Gates was Beyond the Gating Friday. And I said, no ma'am, ain't nothing gonna disturb my peace and disturb me from watching this right here. So ain't no video gonna be done. I'm gonna take me some notes and get ready to do that video before. Because I usually do Beyond the Gates on Mondays. But I'm going to try to get that done either later on today or tomorrow. But anyway, as I do when I close, come on in. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this episode. I know you've seen everybody else's content, but you hadn't seen this. Okay? And as I do when I close, I'm going to chuck them up. Deuces.
Say, listen. I know I'm wrong for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Y'all talk about sleeping with my man, them fighting words. I'm just saying, I ain't talking about nobody. Y'all say y'all gonna sleep with my husband, we got to fight. Especially if you pretty, especially if you think you probably could do it. Don't say you gonna sleep with my man, please don't, because I'm gonna have to fight. Every time I see you, it's gonna be on site. Chad, don't even worry about it. They know the people. It's on site for y'all. It's on site, okay? Praise God, my little man, leave my little man out of it, baby, because we gonna thank God for everything. I ain't trying to be messy today.